I've known ever since I was a little girl that I was going to come to the University of Iowa.
I love getting to tell people stories.
Spirit Squad and cheerleading gave me a great opportunity to be part of the university in a way that I had never been a part of any atmosphere before.
I wanted to make sure that if I chose a college campus, I wasn't just a college kid invading the town for 9 months of the year. I really wanted to feel incorporated with downtown life and on campus.
It's really inviting and welcoming. And also we have so many award-winning trees. Nobody talks about the trees. I talk about the trees though.
Being a Hawkeye to me means being a part of a greater whole, but it also means your family.
Everyone here is so creative and talented.
I think the saying like, once a Hawkeye, always a Hawkeye is so true.
You just really get that sense of camaraderie.
Being a Hawkeye is a way of life. You know, it's a Hawkeye state through and through.
The community that I felt here has just been awesome for all 4 years and really something that I've enjoyed being a part of.
For me, it's family, it's community, it's the Iowa wave.
My earliest memory was going to an Iowa football game.
Nowhere can I get, a good football program, great women's and men's basketball teams, great wrestling, and at the same time, have great academics as well.
It really has been this Iowa community that has pushed me to just try everything, to be bigger than what I thought I could be when I first came to Iowa.
You can have an impact on people and you might not even realize it, even from the little things that you do, just like saying hi to people and getting to know them, to like leading dance marathon and raising $1.45 million.
There's something so magical about the University of Iowa. Everyone that you'll meet is willing to talk to you, everyone's willing to help you. Everyone wants to see the best for you. I'm sad that I'm leaving so soon.
I want to thank my mom and dad for giving me the opportunity to come to school here and for showing me how great the University of Iowa was as I was growing up.
You're my biggest support system and my rock.
I get like emotional talking about it.
Thanks to my sister and my brother-in-law for also being really supportive to me throughout all of college, especially when Dance Marathon came around. It was really great to have you guys.
Thank you to my sister Sasha for sitting through this commencement ceremony.
The University of Iowa accounting program, and really just Tippy as a whole.
Thank you so much to the faculty and other mentors here on campus who helped shape me as an artist and shape my professional career.
You guys mean more to me than you will ever know, and I cherish you all and love you all very deeply.
Good afternoon and welcome to the Fall 2024 College of Education Commencement Ceremony. I'm Dan Clay. I'm the Dean in the College of Education, and I want to extend an especially warm welcome to the families of our graduates. I know the room is filled with parents and grandparents, sisters, brothers, extended family members, friends, and so many others. We're pleased that you're here to help us celebrate and to bear witness to the important milestone accomplishment of all of those graduating today. We are most privileged and grateful to have been a part of their lives for these past few years. The entire university community shares in your pride and in your happiness on this very special day. Allow me to acknowledge the many people assisting today with this commencement ceremony. Please stand and remain standing as you are introduced. The sign language interpreter from Hands Up Communication, Robin Heiken. Representing the university's Central Administration and Conferring Degrees, Executive Vice President and Provost Kevin Craigle. Member of the Iowa Board of Regents, Nancy Dunkel. Assisting me on stage with the celebration today from our College of Education is Mark McDermott, Associate Dean for Undergraduate Education and Educator Preparation, and Pamela Wesley, Associate Dean for Faculty and Graduate Education. Please join me in thanking these individuals who are supporting this effort today. In addition, we recognize all our faculty and staff who have contributed in so many ways to our students' success through teaching, academic advising, supervising field experiences, and other services throughout these graduates' time in the college. Whether seated on stage or before us in the audience, please, faculty and staff, stand so that we can recognize all of you. Please join me in thanking these individuals. I'm honored to introduce today's keynote speaker, Dr. John Sexton. Dr. John Sexton is the Senior Vice President of Culture and Leadership Development at Vibrant Credit Union. He also served as President of the Mississippi Valley Chapter of the Association of Talent Development. Dr. Sexton's approach to leadership is rooted in positive psychology and appreciative inquiry. He's worked with clients across the U.S., including the Cancer Support Community, Florida Gulf Coast University, Iowa Credit Union League, the Quad Cities Chamber of Commerce, Bettendorf and Pleasant Valley School Districts, Women Lead Change, and the U.S. House of Representatives. John earned his PhD in Educational Policy and Leadership Studies and a master's degree in Student Development at the greatest college of education in the world at the University of Iowa. He earned his bachelor's degree in psychology from Central College in Pella, Iowa. Please join me in welcoming our keynote speaker, Dr. John Sexton.
You know, it's been a while since that PhD happened, and I forgot how big these hats are. I don't know if any of you are music education, but as you were filing in, I was having flashbacks of my choir instructor telling me on the risers, don't lock your knees, you'll pass out. So we made it, y'all got in, you got seated. We're off to a good start. Good afternoon. It's a distinct honor to be with you here today to celebrate this exciting occasion. When the College of Education reached out to me about providing today's keynote, my first thought was, what wisdom could I provide to you all on a day where you're probably just a little impatient to walk across this stage? Plus, if I'm being honest, it feels a little surreal to be speaking to you all, because I was a first-generation college student, and I didn't have a clue what to expect when I first set foot on a college campus. In fact, I have a vivid memory of going to college orientation with my dad at Central in Pella, Iowa, and as we listened to the opening presentation that day at orientation, I noticed that the speaker kept referencing faculty. At one point, I leaned over and asked my dad, hey, what's faculty? He kind of grinned nervously and he said, you know, buddy, I don't know, maybe it's a building on campus. And that's where I started. There were a lot of things that I had to figure out pretty fast in order to navigate college successfully, but the great thing was I didn't have to do it on my own. There are so many educators that come to mind who shared their insights and wisdom with me to make my path easier. That all started with a general elective class that I took my freshman year. It was through my favorite professor, Dr. Ed Willis, that I would discover an interest in psychology. He sparked a passion in me for exploring the curious influences that drive our behavior, as well as the assumptions we make about the extent to which we make our own decisions. Through my junior year, I was convinced that I would pursue counseling as a profession until a discussion with Ed shed some light on a new career option that had started to emerge. He prompted me to consider the sheer amount of time I had spent working on campus as an admissions tour guide, a TA, an orientation leader, and as an upward-bound tutor counselor, which helped me reflect on how much I'd come to love helping others navigate the college experience. The outcome of that discussion would lead me to pursue a master's in post-secondary student development here at the University of Iowa that next fall. That's the amazing thing about education. It changes things. It sheds light on new roads and opportunities. So much so that in a few years, when I send my first child off to college, I'm going to have a lot more perspective to share with him than my father was able to share with me. And that's not for lack of trying. And that's thanks in so many ways to the influence of the teachers and mentors who helped me along the way. Things change for the better because of folks like you who are there to support your students. Try this. Close your eyes for a second. Picture your favorite teacher, professor, mentor, or coach. Perhaps that was one of the people who encouraged you to pursue this field. What did they sound like? How did they make you feel? What inspired you about the way they led? Now open your eyes. Just like those educational leaders who inspired you to eventually sit where you are today, you are going to play that same role in so many students' stories that have yet to be written, and that's a really cool thing. Great educators help us navigate challenges, and that includes figuring out how to keep up with the breakneck pace of change. As each of you have prepared to embark on your career, I have no doubt that you've thought extensively about the future impact artificial intelligence will have on the classroom experience. There's no question that the emergence of AI will come with both significant pros and cons. In my mind, however, what matters most is how you choose to help your students navigate the impact of this rapidly growing technology. In fact, the onset of AI reminds me of similar winds of change happening at Iowa when I arrived here for my master's program. I can recall in detail the first time I heard 2 undergraduates reference this really cool new site called The Facebook while working in a computer lab in the Iowa Memorial Union. It wouldn't take long for that platform and social media in general to take off like wildfire. As Facebook's popularity skyrocketed, administrators I worked with openly lamented it, citing ethical questions about the impact of interactions between students and faculty, as well as concerns about the overarching cultural impact this tech would have on how we interact. Did their concerns have merit? Absolutely. There's no question that social media has demonstrated the potential to negatively influence students. That said, we might also reflect on its positive impact. The best uses of social media, for example, foster a sense of connection, community, and opportunities to bring folks together. Need proof? Just take a glimpse at the reel posted by the University of Iowa last night featuring instructors reading letters of appreciation from their students. Their tears and emotions are real, and it's such a testament to the impact you all will soon have in your own right. It's wild to think about how quickly technology can change things. Today, we're wrestling with the potential impact of AI, but think about this. 20 years from now, one of you might be up here giving a commencement speech that references the potential impact of a new technology we can't even fathom yet. That idea doesn't shock me because if you'd told me in 2004, when social media first launched, that I'd eventually be carrying it around in my pocket all the time on something called a smartphone, I'd have laughed pretty hard. Yet here I am today consistently leveraging social media to share stories about the work I'm doing now in the field of leadership development. There will always be new technologies on the forefront, but regardless of how this continues to evolve, never forget that you play a critical role in supporting your students as they navigate a rapidly changing world. Speaking of change, after completing my master's program, I wound up serving in a series of professional roles here at Iowa, both in residence life and orientation services. In fact, when I was younger, my son used to delight in telling our neighbors that his dad worked for Herky. And working for Herky had its perks, the greatest of which were the relationships formed with so many young folks navigating their own educational journeys. Here's the thing that I learned quickly about working with students. You'll leave an impression on them. And those you connect with at a deeper level will regularly reach back out to you in the future. Some will thank you in detail for the little everyday things you did for them, things you didn't even realize were making a difference. As you help foster growth and change, know that your students will eventually give voice to the important role you played in helping them write their own narratives. You can't place a value on the intrinsic value this work will have and the impact that you're going to have on their lives. Never take that for granted. Here's another thing about being an educator. You're never done learning. When I first entered the field of higher education, I told anyone who would listen that the best part about my work was being on a college campus all day without having to write any term papers. I mean, that's the dream, right? Be on college campus, no homework. Yet, ironically, in the late 2000s, I found myself gravitating back to the College of Education to pursue my doctorate, given a desire to maximize my ability to create ideal learning environments for students. I've always been driven by a desire to create more inclusive environments for people of all walks of life, and that led to the eventual study of the experience of Division I female basketball players for my dissertation. My interest in the topic was inspired in large part by frustrations associated with how often I heard women's basketball disparaged when compared to the men's game. At the time, it was easy for me to take my two boys to Carver Hawkeye Arena and snag $10 tickets at game time to watch Lisa Bluter, Jan Jensen, and the rest of the coaching staff field consistently solid teams. And if you weren't hearing about Iowa women's basketball in the early 2010s, I'm willing to bet you've heard plenty about them the past few years. And there's little chance people were buying $10 tickets at game time to sit in row 20 anytime in recent history. When I published my dissertation in 2015, I couldn't have dreamt about the kind of success Iowa's program would have over the next 10 years, or the significant increase in women's basketball overall. I'm talking about this in depth because it's another example of positive change. Advancements like these tend to happen rapidly when conditions are right. A phenomenon that author Malcolm Gladwell describes as tipping points. But I'd argue that these conditions rarely occur without the amazing teachers and coaches that challenge us to be the very best versions of ourselves. And make no mistake about it, when young people grow up and fully tap into their natural talents and strengths, amazing things happen. When you create a supportive learning environment while also challenging your students to achieve more than they ever thought was possible, you will help them realize their full potential. Buckle up, y'all, because there's nothing more fulfilling than bearing witness to students' developmental milestones through their educational journey. You have an opportunity to be the light that inspires a new generation to thrive as you serve as a catalyst for their personal growth and development. I know because I've seen it. I've watched former student leaders I used to work with go on to do amazing things in this field. In fact, that inspired me to reach out to several of these past Iowa grads and glean their advice to share with you all as you prepare for a significant transition in your own lives. One thing they all agree on: you're graduating today, but your real education is still ahead of you. Here's what they had to say. Tim Clay, class of 2013, is a middle school social studies teacher in the Norwalk Community School District, and he hit me with some straight talk. Quote, "You are going to learn more in your first year of teaching than you think you did in college. Some things you're going to try are going to work, and some of them aren't. That's okay as long as you're always trying to do right by your students. Rely on and accentuate your strengths. There are going to be challenges, but don't forget what brought you here and what makes you a good teacher to begin with." End quote. That's also a sentiment that was echoed by Kelsey Vale, class of 2011, now an associate principal in the Des Moines Public Schools. Quote, "The first year goes by pretty fast. You will feel your highest highs and your lowest lows. Lean on your community outside of school. Have friends you can disconnect with. Have a hobby that allows you to turn your mind off for a while. Teaching is one of those jobs that really becomes an identity. Having a way to stay refreshed is a really useful way for staying grounded and regulated." End quote. Brennan Acton, class of 2012, is a high school language arts teacher in a rural Iowa school district. He told me that the first thing he discovered was that theory isn't enough. Quote, "Learning how to do assessment and grade assignments is something that's very important. Assessment goes well beyond theory, and you'll want to make sure to tap into experienced teachers in your first year to learn how they approach this. The veteran teachers around you in your first year are an invaluable resource." End quote. Kendall Bradford, class of 2010, is now a first grade teacher in Waukee. She says, "Teaching never has 2 days that are the same. Embrace all the moments, small and big, because by the end of the year, you will have so much to be proud of. Remember to love the kids big. You may be the best part of their day." That means holding them to high expectations while giving grace and respect simultaneously. And always remember that your words hold power. Marion Hope, class of 2011, is an assistant school leader in St. Louis. Her advice? Set high expectations, build relationships, make positive calls home, and be a good partner with families. Dedicate one day of the weekend for rest and fun. Responsibilities with teaching are like laundry. You'll always have more to do tomorrow. Remember to love the heck out of your kids. You never know what's going on outside of the walls of your classroom, so approach every student with grace. School is a safe space, and you will become your kids' safe space. There's a lot of wisdom here, but it's just a tiny glimpse of the thoughts and advice you can glean from experienced educators to help you start your journey. Keep asking questions. Tap into the advice of those who've gone before you. Stay humble and ask for help. Find a mentor and lean into their experience. There's no doubt that their guidance will prove to be invaluable for your ongoing professional development. Regardless of whether teaching proves to be a lifelong calling, or if, like me, your career path shifts over the long run, the lens of education will always frame your approach to whatever you do. I love this place. I love it for the tools it gave me to help foster growth and development, and continue to hold dear the memories of working with students here every day. Hopefully, you'll find that the tools Iowa has given you for your next steps are just as invaluable as I've found them to be. Embrace the lessons you've learned and leverage this knowledge in the years ahead to help you do great things. I wish you nothing but the utmost best on the first steps in your career. Now get out there and be the positive force for change that your students need. Congratulations.
Thank you, John. Each semester, our graduating students choose the faculty speaker. This semester, Meredith Caskey, a lecturer in our elementary teacher education program, was nominated and chosen. It's my honor to present Meredith Caskey as your faculty speaker. I sat and talked with Meredith about a month ago to discuss this graduation ceremony. We had a great time talking about our lives, and strangely enough, we ended up on the topic of having braces and going to the orthodontist as kids. We both felt like having to wear headgear and retainers secretly made us cool. Meredith also shared that she was so dedicated to orthodontia that she wore her headgear at night, even though she was not required to. I hope that you all appreciate her beautiful teeth as she speaks tonight, because she put a lot of work into them. But she has many other wonderful things about her, too. She has lived all over the world, including Belgium, the Philippines, and England. For high school, she attended an international high school in Waterloo, Belgium. Meredith has spent a lot of her life in Iowa, too. She was a theater major at the University of Iowa, where she met her spouse. She has 2 children, Liv, who is here at Iowa studying jazz music performance, and Griffin, who is a junior in high school and plans to be a professional cyclist. Meredith was diagnosed with breast cancer in 2020 and received excellent treatment that helped her to move through it with ease. She loves to climb, especially ice climbing in the winter. Meredith is an educator. She spent over 2 decades teaching young people conservation education in the wild habitats of Iowa, specializing in ornithology. She transitioned to lecturing at the College of Education at the University of Iowa in 2020. In her personal statement on teaching, she states that she feels purpose in teaching future elementary educators. She continues to say, "I have seen the rewards of creating curriculum from the response students share with me. I am grateful when I see the lights go on in a student or class." At the University of Iowa, Meredith leads courses in physical activity and health and wellness for the elementary classroom teacher. The curriculum in all her courses each semester has an emphasis on emotional well-being and self-care. Outside of lecturing, Meredith is the owner and lead instructor for Sun and Bird Yoga. She has been sharing the practice of mindful movement with others since 2000. It is her sincere and genuine hope that each person she spends time with feels a little better after stretching, breathing, conversing, and reflecting together. Thank you for making such a great selection of your faculty speaker. I am proud to introduce Ms. Meredith Caskey, the Fall 2024 College of Education Faculty Commencement Speaker.
Thank you for the opportunity to be here, speaking with you at the commencement ceremonies for the College of Education at the University of Iowa. When I think back to my graduation ceremonies, all at the University of Iowa, as special as they were, I wish I had been more focused and present. It's hard for me now to remember details about them. This day is a celebration of the effort and energy put towards getting to this moment. It's also a celebration of what's to come. My wish is that today we can all be more present and can commemorate this joyous day. I hope that you will recall this milestone many months and years from now. Now I invite everyone to sit tall, scooch forward in your seats a little bit. Yeah, we're gonna do that. I invite you to place one hand on your belly, one hand on your heart. Let's inhale and exhale together. Everybody, everybody, everybody in the room. Big breaths in, full, complete breaths out. Good. Keep breathing. Take a few more breaths in and out while relaxing your shoulders down, reaching the crown of the head up towards this beautiful ceiling, and softening the tiny little muscles in the face. One more big breath. Complete exhale. Thank you. Thank you for trying that. The curriculum for all the courses I teach at the University of Iowa and outside of the university include breath work. The goal is that doing breathing exercises can help cultivate a sense of awareness and presence. Research shows intentional breathing is also known for relieving stress, boosting mood, deepening relaxation, and helping with alertness, focus, and memory. We are part of a great institution, the University of Iowa, that emphasizes the importance of doing things for ourselves that aid our well-being. There are programs we can participate in, courses we can take, experts we can talk to, and activities we can try, all with the intent of helping us be well. We can also find well-being by choosing careers that serve people through education. In my opinion, this is where we can find great contentment. It will take effort on our part to plan and prepare for each day that we serve. But if we do this with enthusiasm and charisma, we will be the people that others talk about long after they have interacted with us. Some of the spaces we may end up working in include daycare centers, museums, libraries, schools, and other places that promote education. I taught preschool for 3 years after undergrad and then returned to Iowa for my education degree. I had the amazing opportunity to do part of my student teaching in Deddington, England. While I was there, I remember sitting in the teacher lounge and listening to my fellow educators speak about challenging themselves to learn more. They spoke about the energy found in changing grade levels from year to year, switching schools they worked in, trying different roles within education, taking a break from the classroom and pursuing other careers, and then coming back to education. Don't be afraid to work hard. Don't be afraid of change. We want to keep ourselves motivated, inspired, excited, and filled with the passion to learn. There is always more to learn. If I can share a few insights from my 2.5 decades of being in the education world, including substitute teaching, outdoor education, health and wellness instruction, and now as a College of Ed lecturer, I would gently remind everyone, let go of frustrations quickly. We don't always have to win or to be right. Try to remember that those we work with will have stories that define who they are, just like our identity shapes our perspective. So if one of them shares with us a frustration or even lashes out, it could simply be from a fear that they hold or sheer daily exhaustion. Please give them plenty of grace and love. Some of the challenges we may experience in our careers will be from those we work with carrying heavy mental distress. If they are struggling, it may be hard for them to concentrate, to interact positively, or be unabashedly joyful. We can meet these folks where they're at by providing opportunities for them to feel seen, heard, and cared for. Really listen to students, colleagues, and peers. Feel some of their sadness and joys when they share them with us. Connect over goals achieved and hold everyone to high expectations. With the young people we work with, we can share some of our own scruples, when appropriate, and successes to help inspire them. Model how to apologize when we are wrong, and remind them how important it is to be kind to others and ourselves. We need to take care of ourselves, so we have the strength every day to give each of the people we serve their equitable share of praise, care, and compassion. This may sound daunting, but it is doable if we allow more days that we control to fill the calendar versus letting the days control us. How do we do that? We get up and we decide to have a good day. We are patient and considerate to our students, their caregivers, their coworkers, our coworkers, others, and then those days hopefully follow that intention. We can always find something to look forward to. Please try to be in the moment each day, because if you are, I have a sneaky suspicion that you are going to feel present. And if you feel present, there's also a distinct possibility that you are going to feel purposeful. And that could lead to you feeling very much alive and well. This sounds a little bit like the book If You Give a Mouse a Cookie by Laura Joffe-Numeroff, doesn't it? This beloved picture book is a circular tale or a cause and effect story. The narrative follows a pattern that eventually circles back to the starting point with the mouse enjoying a glass of milk with a cookie. How do we achieve feelings of enjoyment? How do we experience feelings of awe, contentedness, and peace? Is it even possible? I think the answers are yes. We spend a lot of time in the College of Education preparing future educators on how to engage others. This is important work. This is something that we practice. For example, engagement is what holds our students' attention so that they can learn the valuable lessons that we plan and prepare for them. As much as we are going to engage others, let others engage you. Do this by being in the moment. Look at people. Listen to them. Feel some of what they're feeling. If we are mindful of these moments, every day we will have the good fortune to have multiple opportunities to be engaged and feel present. Here's one more thought on why we should strive for that. It's a lot more pleasant to get up each day with plans to experience wonder rather than to choose a mediocre existence. We can choose to recognize the good in the world, actively practice presence, and model for folks how to capture joy. Choose to smile and laugh every single day. Back to this day. Let's set our intentions that we will celebrate ourselves and our peers in this moment. We can look back at all that has been accomplished and look forward to all that will be gained. And right now, let's take it all in so we don't forget. Let's practice a little self-love and gratitude. Send some loving thoughts to yourself for the hard work and perseverance found over the last days, weeks, months, and years to get you here. And then think about the people that supported you along the way. Are they here today, in this room? Whether they are or are not, hopefully we will make time soon to tell them how thankful we are for their support. I would like to finish with my sincere gratitude and appreciation for the opportunity to be with you on this day and being just a little part of each of you becoming the stellar and impressive educators that will go into the world with confidence and verve. When you walk across this stage today, you add another layer to your identity. You are a graduate of the University of Iowa College of Education. Don't forget, the people you serve someday will know they hold an important place in this world because you have the means to make them feel valued. When we give this intentional compassion and empathy, we can experience a profound sense of purpose and bliss. Today, take time to celebrate the precious feeling that you are right where you are supposed to be in this moment. This is joie de vivre. This is the joy of life. Congratulations, class of 2024.
Thank you, Meredith. What a great example of how much our faculty care about our students. Appreciate that. It is now my distinct pleasure to be able to introduce our student speaker, Caitlin Felderman. Caitlin was raised in Grand Mound, Iowa, one of Iowa's many wonderful small towns. Like many of the experiences in her life, her path to entering the classroom was anything but conventional. She initially took 2 years off from her studies after graduating high school and worked full-time. However, her passion for learning never diminished, and throughout that time, she knew there was more for her to accomplish. Eventually, with the support of her family, she went back to her studies, first working online to earn her associate's degree and start the process of becoming an educator, before continuing that process here at the University of Iowa. One measure of the commitment she had to her studies was the fact that for 2 years, she was willing to make the 3-hour round-trip drive from the Maquoketa area to Iowa City 3 to 4 times a week. She studied secondary social studies education and history, earning a bachelor's degree in both. And, just for good measure, during the time she was working on her undergraduate degrees, she got married to her high school sweetheart, bought her first home, and had a son. Although her hands have always been full, she's always kept her mind and heart open, clearly focused on her journey towards completing her education. One of the main reasons Caitlin is so passionate about education as a career is that although she never felt she truly connected with a teacher growing up, she has come to realize the critical importance of strong, positive relationships between educators and students. And she knows that even if she can help just one student, it will create a positive ripple for them all the way into their future. She firmly believes one teacher really can make all the difference. Please welcome our student speaker, Caitlin Felderman.
Hi. First, I want to welcome our esteemed faculty, our proud families who are sighing in relief along with us, and most importantly, my fellow graduates of 2024. It's an honor to stand before you today as we celebrate this incredible milestone, but quite frankly, a little intimidating. So I apologize if I stutter. I'm used to talking to a room full of 8th graders, though I'm not sure which is more frightening. As we gather here at the end of our chapter at the University of Iowa, it's impossible not to reflect on the shared experiences that have brought us to this point. We've all spent countless hours in class studying and researching, engaging in deep conversations, battling with educational theory, and meeting a slew of challenges head-on. We've learned from each other, our amazing professors, and the communities we've been a part of. Today, as we prepare to move forward, we are not just celebrating our achievements, but also celebrating the strength and resilience of the community that we've created together, and for that, I'm grateful. College can be an overwhelming mix of excitement, fear, and trepidation. It's a bit like venturing into the unknown. For many of us, it's a time filled with questions. Will I fit in? Will I be successful? And will I discover my way? As we embarked on this new chapter, most of us felt that sense of uncertainty. But looking back now, we realize that those challenges, those moments of doubt and struggle, helped mold us into the individuals we are today. We've learned to overcome those challenges, adjust and pivot when things don't go as planned, and persevere through hard times, coming out the other side more resilient and with more tools in our toolbox. All the late nights of studying, moments of self-doubt, frantically texting the group chat, and struggles to balance our personal life with our education have given us each a unique perspective. As we leave here today, eyes on the future, we do so knowing that we have been equipped with the tools to face the world, not as it is, but as it could be, prepared to take on new challenges and continue growing no matter what life may throw at us. As aspiring educators, we have the unique and extraordinary opportunity to ignite a passion for learning in those around us. We share the unique chance to shape minds, influence hearts, and inspire curiosity, regardless of if this is standing before a classroom of students, offering support as counselors, or leading educational projects in our communities. We have the opportunity to make a difference. Remember that one interaction with a student, a kind word, or a moment of understanding can ignite a passion that lasts a lifetime and a gift that will echo beyond our reach. But let's not forget that though we are here today to celebrate our accomplishments, this is not the end of our educational journey. The pursuit of growth, discovery, and curiosity will continue, whether it's learning from our students, our colleagues, or the world around us. The journey of education will continue long after we leave this campus. Remember to take time to sit back and listen. We move through this life quickly and forget to take in the small moments. Every stage of life offers something unique, from the enthusiasm of a child discovering the world around them to the reflective insight of someone who has lived a long and rich life. Modeling a lifetime of learning is about staying open to new experiences and knowing that every moment holds an opportunity for growth. No one makes it in this world alone. Stay connected, be bold, courageous, lead with conviction, and create new communities. Be willing to share and receive in our world of work. We won't always agree, but that's the beauty of us as individuals. Every person has strengths, but also weaknesses. And the more we bring to the table and work together, the more we can achieve. So let's carry with us a sense of wonder and possibility. Let's embrace the idea that the best moments of our careers are yet to come, and that the work we will do will make a lasting impact, whether it's in the classroom, a boardroom, a research lab, or in our community. Let us dream big as we move forward. Let us remember that our potential is limitless and that each of us can create a change. We have been prepared and we are ready. The world is waiting for our passion, our ideas, and our commitment to making a difference. So congratulations to each of us here, to everyone who has stood in our corner making this possible. It's you, our family, and friends in this room and beyond that have supported us along this journey. So let's go forth and make a difference, one step, one conversation, and one act of kindness at a time. We got this. Thank you, and go Hawks.
Thank you, Caitlin. The College of Education is approved to offer Bachelor of Arts majors in Education Studies and Human Relations, Art Education, English Education, Mathematics Education, Music Education, Science Education, Social Studies Education, World Language Education, and Elementary Education. We are pleased to have the University of Iowa Provost Kevin Craigle with us for the conferring of this degree. Please join me in welcoming Provost Craigle to the podium. Will the candidates for the degree Bachelor of Arts please rise? That's you. Provost Craigle, these candidates, having completed all the requirements for the degree Bachelor of Arts, are recommended to you by the faculty of the College of Education for the conferring of this degree.
All right, here we go. On recommendation of the faculty of the College of Education and the authority vested in me by the Iowa Board of Regents, I confer on each of you the degree Bachelor of Arts as qualified and designated. Congratulations.
The turning of the tassel is the tradition of gesture by which each student signifies passage from degree candidate to graduate. Please mark your new status as graduates of the University of Iowa and the College of Education by moving your tassel of your cap from the right to the left. Thank you, graduates. You may be seated. Now I would like to invite Associate Dean Mark McDermott to the podium.
I now have the honor of sharing with all of you and celebrating the accomplishment of each of our program completers. At this time, we will honor the program completers in our Education Studies and Human Relations, Secondary Education, and Elementary Education programs. Please come forward to receive formal recognition when your program coordinator reads your name.
I'm Professor Kathy Hsu, and I will introduce the graduates completing the Education Studies and Human Relations major. Emmeline Lynn Palmersheim. Annalie Anderson. Danielle M. Brua. Lillian Camille McKinney. Peyton Marie McAllister. Carly Barron. Jaden Lynn Itzen. Callie Brooke Cairo with distinction. Kathleen McKeon with highest distinction. Y.A. Black. Please join me in congratulating those who have completed the Education Studies and Human Relations major.
I am instructor Buffy Quintero, and I will introduce the graduates completing the teacher education program in art education. Carrie Ann Rasmussen with highest distinction. Lauren Olivia Cassup with highest distinction. Jack Ward. Tess Comrade with highest distinction. Please join me in congratulating those who have completed the art education program.
I am Professor Sam Tanner, and I will now talk with the English Ed folks. Kennedy Lee Killian with distinction. Madison Elizabeth Sokola. Grace Hamilton. One more round of applause for English education.
I'm Professor Jeremy Montrenac. I will introduce the graduates completing the teacher education program in music education. Ryan Laird Carter with University Honors with high distinction. Jessica Audrey Rose Fisher with distinction. Eva Fisk with distinction. Charlotte Suzanne Otto. Please join me in congratulating those who have completed the music education program.
I am Professor Eric Friedman, and I will introduce the graduates completing the teacher education program in social studies education. Ian Thomas Akoa. Leif Kenneth Schroeder. Draven Monroe Joshua Wells. Kyle William Spencer. Caitlin Felderman. Emma Elizabeth Rinkumas. Please join me in congratulating those who have completed the social studies education program.
I am Professor Belén Hernando Llorens, and I will introduce the graduates completing the teacher education program in world language education. Isabela Rivera. Please join me in congratulating the student who has completed the world language education program.
I'm Professor Leah Plackens. This is Professor Jeff Nordine and Professor Ashley Ryla, and we will introduce the elementary education graduates. Mackenzie Perkins. Olivia Wheeler. Madison June McIntosh. Rita Ortiz Variz. Olivia Berger. Anna Grace Bright. Kennedy Prickett. Allison Marie Craig. Taylor Elizabeth Hospodowski with highest distinction. Alicia Ulrich. Drake Handling. Anne Elizabeth Guest. Alexandra Margaret Moore. Isabel Rose Schlichting with high distinction. Margaret Bruff. Alondra Rangel. Kennedy Nicole Countryman.
Carly K. Maurer. Caitlin Elizabeth McCartney. Abby Janes. Taryn Storr. Delaney Renee Weber. Matthew Lorenz. Drew Christopher Chiprez. Macy Ann Smith. Maggie Johnston. Nicholas Boland. Maddie DeYoung. Paige Elizabeth Porter. Mia Davy Barron.
Amber Lily Embrock with highest distinction. Allie McDermott with highest distinction. Lauren Lake. Emily Ann Leahy with distinction. Abby Marlene Borth with highest distinction. Anna Michael Johnson. Olivia Rose Bauer. Samantha Schroeder. Avery J. Baumgartner. Elizabeth Danker with highest distinction. Allison Ray Swikowski. Brooke Furman. Meredith Rosemary Burgess. Please join us in congratulating the elementary education graduates.
Wow, what a bunch. How about another hand for the graduates today? I'm not sure if you're more excited or more relieved, but what a pleasure it is to share this special afternoon with you and your loved ones. Graduates, you will now leave the College of Education and start a new profession. Working in education is a tremendous privilege, but it is also a very big responsibility. We need good educators, counselors, community servants, people who care about our children now more than ever. You have our support, you have our confidence, and you have our admiration. We're very, very proud of all the things that you've accomplished. We have big expectations of you, and we know what a difference each one of you will make. I look forward, as you do, to all the things that lie ahead for you. Thank you for being a part of our Hawkeye family, and we hope that you'll stay a part of our Hawkeye family. Congratulations and best wishes to each of you. Please join me one more time in congratulating our graduates. We welcome you all to join us for a reception immediately following this ceremony on the first floor lobby. Refreshments will be served. Also, there's a rumor that Herky might be lurking about, ready to take photos. And he will be joining us, so hopefully you'll stay for that. And I kindly ask that the audience remain seated until the graduates, the platform officials, and faculty have exited. Thank you all for coming, and we look forward to seeing you at the reception. Thank you.